welcome to Margaret Llewellyn Quilting. Today I want to share with you a product that I found a couple years ago. It's called Triangulations, and it is a CD that goes into your computer, and what it does is you can make strip half square triangles with it. You can make regular half square triangles. You can make quarter square triangles, and you can make flying geese. One of the things that I like the best about this CD is that if at 11 o'clock at night I want to sew and I don't have the correct size paper for my half square triangles, I just have to pull out my CD and print my own. Well, one day we were messing around with it for the half square triangles, and we found the regular printing paper was a little difficult to rip. So what we did was we started looking. Well, we found a type of paper, it's called newsprint paper. And she actually found it at a store that's like a Dollar General or one of those types of stores. We used to call them the 5 and dime stores when I was growing up, so there's a little date for myself. But anyhow, what this paper is it's a really light paper. So once you sew through it, it really easily rips off. So she found a big thing. It was, like the ones that kids draw on. We get them for our grandchildren or our children so that they can draw on them. What we did was we got a big thing of it and cut it in half. Took it to Staples and they were great about cutting it for us. But in the meantime, I have found these on the internet that are just standard 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. So it saves you one step. I'll put a link below to the Amazon where I found it, just in case you decide you want it. Anyhow, back to the reason for this whole video. I wanted to show you how easily these worked out. So I'm gonna make the half square triangles for you, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about the CD. So this is the CD, and this is what it comes in. Sorry for the little glare there. And here's a picture of the back of it. And on the inside, you open it up and it has great instructions. Really good, easy to understand, and it works on a PC or a Mac, because what it is really it's an Adobe based file that you're going to be looking at. So it works on all computers, which is great because I mostly use a Mac now. So what this CD includes is, the first thing you get is this Triangulations Patterns, and inside there's, I didn't count how many, I probably should have. There's a couple of different patterns, and the patterns are nice because they come in wall hanging or bed size. Here's one of them. This one's called Flannel Star. It's very pretty. And there was another one in here that I really liked, Beacon Hill. Of course, you all know my love for stars. And there's a couple more that I really liked. Oh, the table scraps was really pretty. I thought that was a nice modern quilt. To me, that bespoke more modern than anything else. And also a falling leaves one. Whoop, I'm making a mess of my table. Here's a falling leaves one. And I also saw one that's a bear paw, I believe. Well, I'm not finding it right now. But anyhow, these are the ones that are on the CD. So when you buy the CD to get not only the patterns to do the half square triangles, quarter square triangles, strip triangles, and I'll explain that in a minute, and the flying geese, you also get a bunch of patterns. So the first one I got here to show you, let's start with the tamed geese basics. That's probably the easiest. In what happens when you get the CD, you open it up and there are a bunch of icons of all the different options that are available. And this is what the tamed geese look like. And of course, it's a paper piecing, as I said. So I'm going to show it to you. So I printed it out, and it tells you, you know, your first piece, second piece, third piece, fourth, fifth, sixth. So it tells you how to lay out all your pieces when you're going to do it as paper pieced. And then, as I said, when you go to cut this apart, take it off, it just rips off really easily because of the paper. The directions, as I said, are really nice. She gives great written instructions. And then on top of that, she gives some really nice pictures. I think I'm running out of ink. My color's a little bit off. And she gives you printing instructions. And for the flying geese, she gives you your size for your sewn size, your finished size, and if you're gonna chain piece them or single piece them. So I think that's really nice benefit too. She tells you your sewn size is 3.5 by 6.5. Your finished size is 3 by 6. In chained geese on a page, you can do a total of 27. So it's nice because it tells you exactly what you need to know for that. Next, I'm going to show you the quarter square triangle pieces. And here's the quarter square ones. And again, I've printed these out so I have them for reference. My suggestion to you is to print them out. Then that way you've got them on hand and you can easily go through them and see what you need. Again, she tells you exactly what your cut size needs to be, what your sewn size will be, and what your finished size will be. And then, in addition to that, she also has a separate page that says exactly what triangulation size, what page it's on, so you can go right to that page to print out your templates. So another great little thing about her instructions. Obviously, you can tell I was really impressed by her instructions. I am an extremely visual person, so for me to try to read instructions always isn't really easy. Sometimes I have a difficult time with them. So the next thing I wanted to show you were the strip triangulations basics. And with our world of quilting doing so many things nowadays with strips, you know, we've got our jelly rolls, or, you know, whatever they're called, depending upon which designer. She has also come up with a way to do it based on those strips. Now, I purposely picked the finished size that needed a 2.5-inch strip. And so I've got 3 strips here. My first step would be to cut these apart. Then I would pin them down to my fabric, and then I could just sew them. So that's the strip concept for you, so that you understand that. And now the last one that I want to show you is, and this is the one that I'm going to do. It's the half square triangle one. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. Here again, she's got your cut size, she's got your sewn size, and she's got your finished size. And then she's also got a secondary page, which I didn't print on this one, that tells you exactly where to go to get the finished size half square triangle that you want. And I wanted to show you how tiny she goes. All this size is finished. Let me see, what size is it? Finished. This is a 5/8 inch finished half square triangle. She goes all the way down to the smallest size is a 1/2 inch finished half square triangle. So they go really small. So here's the piece of paper, and you can see they have all of the directions on exactly which way you stitch the whole thing, just like the triangles on a roll or whatever type you use. I'm going to switch the camera up, and I'm going to show you the piece that I have selected. I've already got a scrap of fabric, and I want to show you how I'm going to go about doing these. Here are my 2 pieces of fabric. What I have done is I just picked 2 scraps that I had, and I'm putting them right sides together. and I have already pressed them. Now I'm going to take my piece of paper. I'm going to lay it down on there straight. And I want to point out a few things to you on this and explain to you what some of it means before I do it. So up here you've got a little key that says your cut size, and that's telling me that my piece of fabric needs to be at least 3 7/8. Next to that is the sewn size, which tells me that it's 3.5 inches. And my finished size, when it's all put together into the quilt, is going to be 3 inches. The solid lines on these are the cutting lines. The dotted lines are, or dash or dotted lines are the sewing lines. Okay? And down you can see there's all these little squares on here. What those are is they're telling you to trim those out. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece, I'm laying it on my sewing table so I can do this, and I'm just going to pin in all the different blocks. Okay? So I've got my blocks, I'm getting them pinned down. Then once I pin them down, which won't take but a minute, I'm going to then run it through my sewing machine. And I'm going to sew on that dotted line just like they've told me to. So once I get this all sewn, then I will come show you what it looks like. I have sewn all the way around my piece, and I wanted to point out what I did with my stitch length. I turned it way down. It is just under 2. So I wanted to let you know that. So my next step is I'm just going to remove these pins. Then I'm going to take this over to the cutting table. I'm going to cut it all out, and then I will show you how easy it is to separate it from the paper, and then I'll go press my half square triangles. So as I said before, you're going to cut on the solid line wherever there's a solid line. So I'm just going to start making my cuts, and I like to just get all the way around the outside cut first. So I'm going to do that. See how easy it is to cut it? It just cuts extremely easy. Okay, so my next step is to cut on my solid lines. So here I go. Cut these solid lines. Oh, you know what I ought to do is bring my ruler down like this, and then I can make 2 cuts at once. So can you see that? Then I can just go like this. So there's 1, whoops, 2, and it said to clip these off, so I'm going to do that right now. And I probably should be using a ruler, but you can see my hand is quite a ways away. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these all. That's one of the things that I like about these is they actually do have you trim these right off. The other ones that I've used, the other half square triangle papers, they don't have you do that. So that's a nice little thing, because then you get rid of all those dog ears right up front. Let's trim it later on so we can see what our beautiful blocks look like. Alrighty, so I'm going to trim and trim, and then I'm going to just keep running. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim these right off right now before I do the insides, because they're a little bit bigger. Whenever I can trim something that's got a little bit more substance, I'm going to. Here we go. Two more cuts and I'm done. So here's one cut. I'm gonna try not picking my piece up and just move my ruler. And here's my second cut. Okay, so on my way back to my sewing table, I'm gonna stop at my pressing table and I'm gonna set my seams, and then I'll meet you back over at my sewing table. So how I take these papers off is great thing to do at night in front of the television, because then you're in the same room with everybody but doing something. And you just take them and you just rip them off, and see how easy it comes off with this paper? It is wonderful. So as I said, I just take them, I fold it back, I just kind of score it a little bit. Just a nice little score. And then I take it and hold it. Oop, I missed a couple. I do have a few more little clip-ins to do. No big deal though, right? So I'm just gonna clean these up. I'm gonna cut all of these, get them cleaned up. I'm gonna remove the papers from all of these. Then I'm gonna take them over to my sewing table and I'm gonna press them open. And then I'll bring them back in. I'm gonna sew them together somehow. Haven't quite figured that out yet, but I am gonna sew them together so you can see what it looks like. Not quite sure what I'm gonna make out of it, and see, you can do it from either side, the big piece or the small piece. Once you do one side, the other one just comes right off. I have sewn my half square triangles in here. I'll show you. Out of that one sew, I got 8 half square triangles. And I wanted to show you, let's play with the blocks a little bit, because I always think that's the fun part. So here's one right here, and I just cut some extra scraps out so that you could see it. So here's one block. Here's a second block, and this is just using the half square triangles. Now I'm gonna take these away, and I'm gonna put these over here, and let's see what we come up with. How should we do this? Let's do it like this. So here's this one, and this one's using all of them. So that's kind of nice. Whoops, let me get you back on camera. That's kind of nice because what this does is it gives you these corners. And if you could just imagine another 4 out here, and changing these colors up would be really, really cool. Okay, so now let's see what else we can do. We've got 6. So we've got 8 blocks. So let's do, let's do this. 3. We'll just stay real simple here. 4. That would make a really nice border. Just real simple half square triangles. And these are good size ones. These are 3-inch ones, so it wouldn't be that hard to do. Now let's see what we got going here. Oh, I like that. I think that's really cool too. Just diamonds. You could do that with them being a lot bigger. Let's just flip these around a little bit. This always reminds me of the snowball block. Let's just turn these this way. And there's more. I would suggest when you want to play and you just aren't certain what to make some half square triangles and then lay them out, and then you've got some really cute blocks. I like, let me go back to, I like this one. I think this would make, let's see if I can make it happen again. I'd like this one for a table runner in the well, these are kind of Christmas fabric, so at the holiday time, I probably should just go ahead and make this up. I'm trying to watch it in the camera too to make sure I've got it going right. I always mess these up every once in a while. Is that the right way? Is it spinning? I think so. Here we go. And now I've got enough to do another one right next to it. So let's get the second one laid out. We gotta start with this one. I'm getting there. Takes me a minute. Let's see, what are we doing here? Okay, this will go 1, 2, 3. Then we'll do this one. So there are my 2 blocks. Aren't they cute? I think they're adorable. Nice, nice blocks. I hope you enjoyed this. Just another option for you on how to make half square triangles and quarter square triangles and flying geese. If you'd like me to do a tutorial on the quarter square triangles and the flying geese, please let me know in the comments and I will put that on my schedule. I thought about doing all of them today, but if I did that, the video would be an hour long and you definitely would get sick of me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll put links below to places where you can get one if you would like to. And I think it's a nice option, and I like options of having different ways to do things. So as I said, if you want me to do a video and show you how to do the quarter square triangles or the flying geese, please do let me know in the comments below and I would be very happy to do it. Please do subscribe to my channel so that you get notices when I've uploaded a new video. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.